You always want to blame other people. You always want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me, and I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day. I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Patrick, and in today's video I have an absolute banger of a video. What it is it is a realistic 6-month bulk transformation. Now, there's a ton of transformations on YouTube, but a lot of them are with fake natties, unrealistic timelines, or amazing genetics. And I am neither of those three things, which is why this video is going to be an amazing review of what you can do realistically in 6 months. And also, keep in mind, this is my 3rd year of lifting, so this is not really newbie gains anymore. I had trained for 3 years prior to this 6-month trip, like bulk transformation. However, I wasn't doing everything 100% optimally, so this is probably the best, kind of bulk that I've had, but I've definitely been training. I'm definitely not a newbie to the gym. So I'm going to show the physique comparisons at the end and talk about the full weight gain, but before that, I'm going to explain to you guys what I did and what I did with my diet, what I did with my training, and how I liked it, and why I did certain things. Okay, so the first thing is my workout split. The first half, so like 3 months or so, I was doing the standard push-pull legs 6 times a week, everything twice a week, and then, 1 rest day in that week. However, the second half, so the last 3 months, I switched to a little bit of a bro split where I was doing chest and triceps one day, then legs, then back and biceps, then I would rest, then I would do shoulders with a little bit of chest in there, and then I would do arms, and then I would rest again. So this is kind of a bro split. I'm hitting chest kind of twice a week, and then I'm hitting arms kind of twice a week when I was having my arm day, and then having biceps and triceps also on a separate day. The reason why I switched from push-pull legs to this like kind of modified bro split was just because I was getting bored of doing the push-pull legs because I did it for like 2 years prior to this bulk, so I wanted to switch that up. And also I felt like having everything twice a week and the consistent frequency of only one rest day per week, I felt like it was holding me back, because some of you might be able to relate to where sometimes when you're training, you have to hit a certain muscle group again 2 days later, so you don't go like 100% all out because you're like, damn, this is a good workout, but I don't want to get too sore. I don't want to push it too hard because I'm going to have to hit this again in 2 days. So I felt like that was holding me back. When I do this modified kind of bro split, I go all out to failure because I know it's kind of the only time I'm hitting that muscle group that week, and I know I'll be recovered the next time I hit it, whether that's like 3 or 4 days later or just a completely next week after. So that's basically all I did for my training. For my strength progression, I don't want to get too deep into it, but basically I was using a modified 5-3-1 method where you do each week you'll do a top set of 5 reps, the next week you'll do a top set of 3 reps, then the next week you'll do a 1 rep, then after that you won't do like a strength, the next week you won't do a strength top set, and then you restart that cycle. But if you guys want my full workout program that I used for this bulk, I'm going to be releasing it on Instagram for free. Once I hit 10,000 followers, I'll make my beginner program, and I'll make the program I use for this, my intermediate program, free on Instagram for download it for free. So make sure you're following me on Instagram, and make sure you're blowing up my posts so that we hit 10K, and then you get the program for absolutely free. So I'm not going to cover training too in depth with that, but I'm going to get onto my diet and how I, implemented calorie surplus, what surplus I was eating in, what protein, macro split, all that stuff. So I was eating in a calorie surplus, of course, that's how you gain weight. And my maintenance calories is between 2,800 and 3,000 on days that I'm working out. So I was eating at a 10% calorie surplus, which came out to roughly 300 to 400 calories, resulting in basically a 1 pound weight gain per week. And then, of course, as you progress and as you gain weight, your maintenance calories is going to increase, causing you to have to increase your calories even more. So right when we started this surplus, I was eating 3,000, then I worked my way up to 3,300, then 3,600, then 3,900, and I eventually capped it out at 4,000 was the most calories I've eaten in this bulk. If you want those full day of eatings, I have those on my YouTube channel. Go check them out. I have the 3,300 one, the 3,600 one, and the 4,000 calorie full day of eating. So if you want to know exactly what I ate, go check those videos out. So basically the macro breakdown was protein, of course, at 1 gram per pound of body weight. So as you increase in body weight, you will be increasing your protein intake to match that. However, since I was gaining 1 pound a week, I wasn't adjusting my protein every week to stay consistent with my weight. Whenever I would hit a plateau of weight and I needed to add in more calories, I would just match my protein and add more protein in till I hit my body weight again in protein, and then I would add more carbs and fats based on whatever calories I had left. And also, I just want to say the carbs and fats in a macro split aren't insanely important. They don't matter too much. They can both be used at energy, so you don't need to trip over those. Kind of just, if you're eating if it fits your macros lifestyle and you're having cheat meals, don't really stress over carbs and fats too much. But I was basically aiming for 55% carb intake, 25% fat intake, and then 20% protein intake. However, what I do want to say though is as I increased my calories during this bulk and as calories got higher, upwards to 4,000, every time I would increase my calories, of course, it would be harder and harder to eat more and more every single day, which is why nearing the end, I had a higher fat intake for sure than that macro split I just gave you, because, as you get further in the bulk, you're going to have to eat more, and it's going to be hard to eat more, especially someone like me who doesn't have a great appetite. So my fat intake did rise near the end of the bulk. Okay, so now let's talk about the strength progression, and I'm also going to throw up the clips of my before PRs and after PRs so you can see me actually hit the weight, and just so I'll talk about exactly what the progression was like. So my bench press transformation before doing this calorie surplus, my bench press max was 260 pounds. Just want to clarify, I didn't hit that 260 6 months ago. I hit it like more over a year ago, but that's when I got injured. I wasn't benching properly, and so I really didn't have a new bench PR past that. So this 260 pound bench PR is a year old, but I hadn't hit anything even close to that for the last year. And then once I got into the surplus, the injury was healed and I started, programming my strength again and increasing my strength. So in the 6 months, my bench went from 260 pounds to 305 pounds, all 1 rep max, of course. So that's a 45 pound increase in 6 months. I think that's a great result, especially for someone that's past their newbie gain stage like myself. My squat transformation, again, I want to say this wasn't my PR. I didn't hit the previous PR 6 months ago. It was from further back, but I just didn't have an up-to-date PR past this. So this was the heaviest single I've ever hit before starting this bulk. So it was 335 pounds before we started this. Then my PR after the bulk of 6 months was 405 pounds for one. So that's a 70 pound increase. Definitely think the most results I got on my legs. Obviously, just by looking at the squat numbers, 70 pounds in 6 months, not going to really happen for a lot of people. But I think my legs were just underdeveloped, so they kind of caught up in this bulk. And I definitely took a different approach to my leg training this bulk and hit them way more intensely. So I think that's why I got crazy results in my squat in just 6 months. Now, the last thing, deadlifts, kind of a gray area, but my PR before this was 365 pounds. And then my PR after the bulk was 405 pounds. You're probably thinking, why the hell is your squat and your deadlift the same? I have an excuse for that. Basically, I was inconsistent with deadlifting because I kept getting little tweaks in my back and in my hips, and the deadlifting never really felt perfect where I wanted to push it past that 405. It kind of hit 405 and I was like, that's good enough for me. At this moment in time, I don't really feel like pushing it past it when it doesn't feel 100% right. And nearing the end of my bulk, I was getting really intense lower back pumps when I would deadlift. I think it's just because of access of food, water retention, all that stuff. So I couldn't really deadlift past 4 or 5. I plan on getting back into deadlift when I cut because, I'm going to have less food overspill, less water retention, and less fat. So it might be easier and I won't have those lower back pumps. So gonna get back into deadlifting now, but those are the strength results. It was a 60-pound jump in 6 months. Again, pretty good, but didn't push it balls to the wall with deadlifts. Okay, so now the moment you all been waiting for, the physique comparisons on what you can achieve in 6 months on a calorie surplus. So just before I show you the physique comparisons, the goal for the bulk, other than just getting bigger and stronger overall, was I wanted to have my chest look bigger. I wanted a more like 3D and fuller look to my chest, and overall just size and mass on my arms. Felt like my arms were pretty lackluster, so I wanted to gain size on them. Now the first like picture and video, this is 170 pounds right here. This is August before we started the 6-month calorie surplus, and this right here is 194 pounds. 24 pound gained 6 months after going balls to the wall, and in this calorie surplus. And so this is a 24 pounds gained, and I bulked for 6 months, which 6 times 4 weeks is 24 weeks, resulting in 24 pounds in 24 weeks, which is roughly 1 pound per week, which is basically what I shot for. And the reason why I kind of wanted to make this video was to obviously show the results, but also a lot of people in the fitness industry like these days think main gaining is the best. So I kind of wanted to just show a different perspective and show what you can accomplish in an actual, consistent calorie surplus and proper lean bulk for 6 months, and see what the gains you can actually make. Obviously, I wouldn't have made these gains in a maintenance phase, eating in maintenance calories. So the question is, was it worth it? In my opinion, 100% definitely worth it. Just by looking at the size and strength that I've gained, I really think I took my physique to the next level. As it goes for contractile muscle tissue, my guess is I probably gained 3 to 4 pounds, maybe even close to 5, but that's probably pushing it. So I would say 3 to 4 pounds of contractile muscle tissue gained is pretty good for a 6-month period. And also, I'm, like I said in the beginning, I'm not a newbie lifter. So 3 to 4 pounds gained in 6 months is really good for someone that has passed their newbie gain stage. So would I recommend bulking? Yes. If you want to main gain and you want to stay, the same body fat percentage but gain muscle, you have to realize that's probably optimal for people within their first 2 years, just because, it's going to be easiest to build muscle then. You're not going to gain muscle as fast, but you won't gain body fat. So that's a decision you have to make. But people like me that want to make a drastic change in their body and they want to gain muscle as fast as possible and want to get as big as possible, as quick as possible, main gaining is definitely not the right thing to do. You definitely want to go in the lean surplus, follow all the kind of steps that I mentioned, do what I did, because this is what I achieved in the last 6 months, way past my newbie gain stage. So that's going to wrap it for this video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, rating, subscribe if you are new. Make sure you go follow on the Instagram. Like I said, program giveaway is going to be at 10K. If you made it to the end, thank you. Appreciate all the support, and peace.